What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Black, the most dangerous and most toxic black man on the internet, and I am black up in your face again with some more pro black commentary. So, very sad story coming from my neck of the woods here in Nashville, Tennessee. I don't live exactly in Nashville, I kind of live a little bit on the outskirts, but close enough. And there was a school shooting here on Monday this week. And how I found out about it was, kind of disturbing. Like my father called me. I wasn't watching the news at the time I was working, so I didn't know what was going on. But my father called and he was checking to see if like we were okay and was our daughter okay because she's in school. And from there, I turned on the TV and saw what was going on. So, I knew if he's calling me in the middle of the day, I know it's something important, right? So I made sure I answered the phone when he called. And I turned on the news and saw the story, and very disturbing story of this scumbag of a female going into a Christian elementary school and shooting indiscriminately at everybody there. And she wound up killing at least three of the students and three of the people that worked there, including the head of the school. And it's bad seeing stuff like this. It hits a little bit different when it's a little bit closer to home. And I made sure I let everyone know on Facebook and in other places that me and my family were okay. It was not my daughter's school. She does not go to a Christian school. So, um, but like my wife, she was actually going downtown and she saw, whole bunch of like police cars and stuff like going in that direction. So she didn't know what was going on, but she heard, a lot of the police and the ambulances going by and was wondering what was going on in that area. And it's over in I guess you can say it's kind of a wealthy area over there in Green Hills because it's right by the Green Hills or close to the Green Hills Mall. I know that's like the super expensive mall. I remember for a long time that was the only mall in all of Nashville that had like an Apple store that would service an Apple computer. Because I remember I having to go there to get my own computer service until they started building Apple stores in other places. So um, it's a expensive area to live in. I don't know how anyone could afford to live over there unless you're ultra wealthy. But just a sad story altogether. And I saw the footage of the little mayonnaise mutant Audrey Hale that went in there to shoot up the school. She was dressed just like the Columbine shooters. She looked just like what's his name, Dylan Klebold, with the hat turned backwards and the flak jacket on and the AR-15 type weapons. And I want to know where she got the weapons from. I haven't discovered that part of it yet. I will let you guys know if I find out what specific places she got these weapons from. That should have set off some alarm bells. You got this little girl coming out there to buy these weapons, but you know, she was 28 years old, and they claim that she had actually went to this Christian school back in the day. And people are making excuses for her, like especially the left and these liberals out here are making excuses for her because she was quote unquote trans, that maybe this Christian school was trying to force her to not be trans or to not be LGBT. So that's why she was going there to get revenge. Now, I don't accept any excuse for murdering children. Okay? There is no excuse out there for you to be going into a place with innocent children, babies basically, in elementary school like that, and killing them. There's also no excuse for killing innocent people that had nothing to do with whatever you were dealing with. A lot of those people were probably not even part of the staff when you went to the school. You graduated years ago, and you want to think that if that is part of her little manifesto, they haven't released her manifesto yet. But I don't know if that was part of it or what. But people are using that as an excuse, making it seem like it's okay to kill people just because they tried to convert you or whatever. That's ridiculous. There's no excuse for killing children. And I don't want to hear anything about being bullied either, because God knows no other person in human history was ever had a hard time in middle school. That's probably one of the most awkward stages of everyone's life. That's when you're starting to develop. So, you're going from being just a child into being a teenager. That's probably one of the most awkward stages in everyone's life. So, everyone has issues around middle school. Okay? Even the popular kids have issues around middle school. It's not something that's easy for everybody. Okay? That's when you start changing, like your hormones start going crazy. Some of you might start growing, the guys might start growing facial hair, or like for me, I start getting my growth spurt at that time. So I'm like, I look very awkward. My feet are bigger and my arms are long and lanky, but the rest of me is still in a smaller stage. So that's just what happens in middle school. And kids are going to be jerks and make fun of you. That's just the way life is. Get over it. That does not give you an excuse to go and shoot up the school. Once again, that middle school was so long ago. Why would you even be thinking about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I barely even remember the people that I went to middle school with. I maybe kept in touch with maybe two of them, and one of them is a relative of mine. So of course we keep in touch. Other than that, what else? Who else you gonna be? Why would you even be thinking about middle school at this point? But don't try to justify anything with these mass shooters. Okay, the only thing I see in all of them, and it's the same in all of them. A lot of them are white, and when white people don't get their way, they cause mass destruction. That's just been my conjecture from seeing a lot of these mass shootings. When white people don't get their way, they think it's okay to go out on a shooting spree and to go kill a whole bunch of people. All right, as if so to say, like, since my life is miserable, everyone told me being white was going to be great, but if my life is not perfect being white, then that gives me the right to go out there and make everyone else's life miserable too. And shooting at innocent children, that's just horrific. That makes you a demon in my book. Okay. And, the only thing I can say out there is I guess I'll give the police here some credit, because at least they didn't wait to set up a perimeter. They killed her immediately. I don't know if they knew that they were dealing with a young female or what, but at least these police weren't acting scary like some of the other police do during these mass shootings, setting up perimeters and whatnot. They immediately they shot back at her when she shot at them from the window, and then they went into the school and they put some extra holes in her, gave her some extra ventilation, which she deserves, by the way. Okay, I don't feel sorry for her whatsoever. You go in there, you want to shoot up a damn school with children. And then watching the footage, you could see just how vicious she was, shooting out the windows and doors and going into the school. She planned this. She had maps of the school. So she planned this, and she planned to go shoot up the school, and then she was going to go to the mall and shoot up people at the mall too. Just a sick individual. Okay? And I don't want to hear any type of mental health excuses. Yes, she is sick. Of course, she has some sort of mental instability, but that's not an excuse for going out and killing people. Okay? And an interesting factoid that I found out, there was a black woman who was warned that this was going to happen. What's the sister's name here? If I can find her name. Her name is Vernia Patton. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. But she went to school with the shooter back in the day, and they played basketball together. And apparently she got a message on Instagram that, Audrey Hale told her that, yeah, I'm going to die today. She didn't tell her she was going to shoot up a school, but she told her she was going to die today. So the black woman, tried to tell people, she was trying to go through like suicide prevention and stuff like that to try to help this girl, but no one listened to her, and no one listened to what this black woman was saying about this woman might go out and hurt herself or hurt somebody else, and the shooting, happened anyway. So maybe you should take people and take black people at their word when they try to warn you about these mayonnaise mutants and the crimes that they might commit. Okay. But I mean, you folks can let me know how you feel about this situation in the comments section. I'd like to hear your opinions on this. But once again, like I said, it's kind of weird having this so close to home. While I live on the other side of town, I don't live by this school. This is not my neighborhood. Still, you know, even being this close to a school shooting like this is disturbing. Okay, and a lot of people are very on guard at these other schools after something like this has happened. Now, we do have police protection at our school, but, I don't know, a crazy person who was determined to do and to cause chaos, it's hard to stop that. It's hard to stop a demon when they're going to do something like that, because most normal people don't even think in that way to want to do harm to small children. Most normal people aren't thinking like, okay, how am I going to plan this attack on people living their everyday lives? And it's got to be hard for the families who've had to deal with this, because they just, they kiss their loved ones or kiss their parents and say goodbye like they're like just a regular day, just a regular Monday. And thinking they're going to see them in the afternoon, and then to hear something like this has happened and then your loved one not come home, that's got to be horrible. Okay, it's got to be horrible. And anyone who's lost anyone or who's lost a child, I just have to say, just from my own experience of losing my first child through natural causes, I know just how dark and emotional you can be, or how bad of a point you can get to when, you thought everything was going to go good one day and then everything is gone the next. So I know it's got to be rough for those families. So shout out to them. I hope that they can find some peace at some point. It's not going to happen overnight. And I know they're still dealing with it now. They're probably still in the phase of not even being able to believe what had happened. Okay, because like I said, that dropping your child off at school and thinking everything's going to be a normal day and you're going to see them in the afternoon, and then to lose your child like that in a violent way, this has to be horrible. Okay, so you guys let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. Anyway, Mad Black, and I will be back with my foot on a devil's back. And if I find out any more interesting points to this story from the local media or just around town, I will let you guys know on this channel. Anyway, peace out.